I sit down with Giorgio. He's a member of the entertainment team at the resort here in Sardinia. So our conversation, it will cover a wide range of topics, and I really invite you to listen closely for some key insights that emerged through our exchange. Yeah, recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so Giorgio, I will introduce you to my audience.
Okay.
But if I don't capture it right, then I'll do an intro beforehand, this clip, and then add to what I haven't shared. But basically, well, not actually, you introduce yourself. How would you describe your role in this place and what you do?
I'm the day manager of this team, our animation team. At the same time, I'm a singer. So, at night we used to do shows, and that's a possibility for me to sing in front of people, and maybe also to act in front of people, and just feel this kind of vibration, in the air, and it's really having a good time. It's the same for me as during the day or in the night. The important thing is people for me.
I love that. Yeah. So what drew me to you is you are, as you know, I'm a therapist. So I don't know if you've ever had therapy, what your idea is on counselling.
I had once, because my parents were divorced, and after that there were this super kind lady that helped me a lot. Was that kind of rule of support a lot.
How old are you?
26.
26.
Yeah. After there was this kind of period when I was confused, stuff like that. I think it's normal. I mean, if you're an adolescent, it's normal. And then I had 1 year of real therapy with a therapist, because it was after.
That was a year ago, right? Because you're 27 now, or?
It was 2 years ago. I had this kind of big, giant panic attack.
Oh wow! Yeah. That's what brought it all to attention.
But also, the doctor said to me that it was with anxiety too. It was not only a panic attack. It was also an anxiety attack, but together.
Sure. So magnified completely.
Yeah, it was 1 hour, or was a nightmare. I was in the car without moving my hands or my legs. I was in another place, and yeah, it was a lucid nightmare for me. It was the first time.
Sorry.
No, I was I was working in this company. It was the pause and the break. Then I remember I went down to my car because I wanted my space, It was kind of weird. And at that time, I had this mixed anxiety and panic attack, both together. And I was feeling like I was dying. Really.
Those are the thoughts that were going on in your mind.
I was not cautioned. After 30 minutes, I was not cautioned. So my mind doesn't respond to that. And after that, I completely changed the view about this kind of things because I get through. So it's...
You could see a miracle. Would you say that was like a miracle in your... When you said you completely changed your worldview, that felt like you experienced some...
You have to experience things. Obviously, you have always to get your head on your shoulders, okay? But also things that happens to you, they are not happening to you. They're happening for you. That's my opinion. If you're looking at it in that way, I know that it's tough and it's hard to believe that every day of our life, because we know we have a lot of problems instantly, things that you can't control and that just came into your life. But at the same time, the fact is, if you are focused only on what your nature is, and you know it, you know your nature. You can know, you know, when and where you can act as you, when you can be yourself. Because in this kind of society, I think that it's so difficult to be ourselves, you know,
authentic,
because people don't want it. People don't want it. People see you on Instagram and think about that your life on Instagram is the real life. But that's a problem, because we don't look at each other in the eyes.
Well, what struck me about your energy was the way that you meet people with a smile.
Yeah.
And that even your badge, it says, what is it?
Day manager.
Oh, no, look, but being someone smiles.
The motto. Okay.
Yeah. And the thing I can relate to you is, so I am a therapist for mental health.
Okay.
But I'm also a psychic medium, and I fell into that. It took me a long time to accept that part of me, because it felt very abstract and not accepted in mainstream health. And so I battled with that side of me that could see outside the box and beyond the words that people were saying to me in their challenges. I could picture different things, different images to what they were telling me, and that enabled me to give a greater insight to their illusions and the characters that they play into.
Okay.
And so what I recognised in you was the capacity to shift someone's energy through your smile, through your eyes, through your frequency. And I felt drawn to ask you what that journey was like for you to get there, because in my experience, some people smile and it's a fake smile and you can feel the fake smile. But your smile was different. Like you said, you could hear your girlfriend's voice, her vocals. It was how I could, not before I heard your vocals, it was your smile that told me you had been through some things. So I wanted to just sort of explore with you what that journey was like for you.
Well, I believe in details, and I believe that the fact that we are not made for, you know, buildings. We are made for living, for sharing our nature, and I think that the best way to live your life is, in the first time, to live your present. You have only your present. And that's the most important thing to know, because if you know this, you know also that there's no past and there's no future. So in fact of that, you can only share what is going on in your life, and in what's going on in your life, it's how you feel your life. So if I see someone that in that particular moment in my present is sad, maybe I'm to empathy, maybe
you can identify with their sadness.
I mean, for the keynote it is. But I had this kind of, you know, when you look at someone and after you say some things that breaks them, they are a little bit, shocked.
That you've seen them, they're maybe taken back by the way that you've given so much notice.
It's not about seeing them.
Seeing, you saw them.
There are all things together. I mean, if I sing you a song with my feelings, you can feel them. But if I'm talking to you, maybe you can feel 50%, maybe, the most of the time. You know why? Because when people really sing, it's soul that is vocally, It's the soul language. I think that we energy before our body, this is only a church. Okay. This is only a church, but the God is what is inside us.
It's inside you and outside you.
Yeah. God is inside of all the human, if you believe in God. I mean, the spirit is the detail that can make the difference in every part of your life. maybe I'm a foolish guy that if someone is alone, even if I don't know him, I just walk there and maybe hug him. Maybe it's something crazy, but at that time,
you're drawn to do that.
But I wanted to, because I think everyone in this situation can do nothing. No, don't want to do nothing.
Sure.
But what makes the difference? The spirit.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fascinating.
I mean, and always people say, okay, but you can't live only with love. You need money. I say, okay, you need money. You need to work. Okay, you need a job.
Yeah.
Okay, but at the same time, if you lost yourself in your way to live life, you are nothing. You are part of you're only a mechanic system. And we are not. I think that for what I read in the past,
you've read so many books.
Yeah, I love to read.
Because The Alchemist was the one that.
Wow, the fantastic book. That's a couple. And you know, there are some books, for example, Siddhartha of M.S. Those are kind of books that give people the chance, the opportunity to change the view of themselves, to understand that we are a flip in existence, and everything was built by someone who now is dead. And you think that you are important for what? Because you have money, or because you're a good person? I'm just trying to be a good person, you know.
Yeah.
People need that. People need help.
They do. They say your legacy is the impressions that you make in this world, and how you've helped people how you've led them to feel.
Look, when I meet someone, or when I have to sing for public or people in general, there's always this kind of thoughts in my mind. Maybe I'm not the best, but it's not important. The best thing is to give the best part of me that maybe can give you some emotions, because we are made by emotions and memories. Everything. And you know, we get through a lot of years. Okay, and there's always a point when I see the oldest people than me, always told me, you know, Giorgio, there's a point in your life that you just stop and watch behind your back and see all the things you did, and then starting to realize that you could say less or more, could do things better and stuff like that. But the only thing that is important to know for me is if there's no good events, bad events. That's the way you live it. You know.
Absolutely. Which, you know, you were speaking about giving a lot, how that gives purpose and meaning to life. And I wanted to ask you about your ideas on destiny, seeing that we both love the book The Alchemist, which I believe is about going for the dreams that you have and appreciating the journey it takes to get there. And by embracing the journey, you can manifest the vision that's in your eyes. And so I wondered what your balance is between giving to people and helping them feel better about themselves or uplifted in their spirit. What's the balance of your connection to self and how to top that up to give you that spirit?
Wow. That's a tough question, because it's intelligent.
Maybe that's what happened when you went to therapy, huh?
Yeah. No, that's a good one. No, because I think that as a human, we fail every day with ourselves, you know, because we can't reach the best level of ourselves. But the good way is always trying. You know, and I'm terrible because I'm a very deep personality, so sensible. So I received everything. You know, I can observe and being in this dimension totally. Okay.
It's very challenging. Some people call that the hidden curve.
Yeah, it's not always a good thing for me because most of the time I'm pretty down.
It takes energy to be able to channel.
And I spend too much on that. But at the same time, when there's someone who is fighting for something, even without knowing him, just looking in his eyes, kind of connection, and that's the interesting part.
So that connection fuses
because all the hell that I have in my mind now has a reason, because I can transform that.
Sure. Yeah, they say that you can't hold anxiety at the same time that you create, and so creating is important for the anxious human. And something came in as you were speaking. It's gone. What were you thinking and feeling just then as I spoke? What came into your mind? Can I ask you, as I just said that?
When you speak, so calm, so quiet, pure, genuine. But at the same time, always I feel like there's always trying to get better. But it's like I don't know if it's a perfection thing, okay? Because I don't know you. But at the same time, I feel that maybe I'm wrong. Okay, you can say to me, Giorgio, you're wrong. But I feel like that you're searching so much. You're kind of okay. This is perfect for me.
Sure.
In every way in your life. There's something that I feel. Maybe repeat, I'm wrong because I don't know you. But what you give to me is feeling, okay? I feel like a very good soul, kind soul, a kind person that wants to being good with other people, help other people, so and a helper spirit. But at the same time, a person who is years behind this moment has to get through a lot of, not only a lot of pain, because everybody suffers from things, but it's kind of trying to get the perfection. That's something that I feel about you. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there was your child. I always wanted to know when I'm talking to people. I always ask if you're your child, okay, right now in your moment, and you have to give him advice.
What would you say to that child? What does that child need?
Because that child is you. All the things that make us angry or just bad, okay, are the things that are painful for the child that is inside us.
It's crying, it's desperate.
It's crying. Or now maybe it's just upset. It depends. But you have to, for me, in my experience, or what I do in my life and my own, it's trying always to read the book of my child inside of me, because you always have to write the daily diary and with kind of things, and then every day I have to read it, and then it's not always a good piece of paper.
Sure.
I think that's normal.
To pour out that on there is not always the prettiest thing. And what you just done there, I recognise in quite a number of my clients, because you read my energy. And by reading my energy, you read yours too. And I feel that's the intervention that happens in my work. I mean, that's so unique, because not every client gets to read their therapist in the way that is accessible, because sometimes when we offer advice, we close ourselves off a certain way.
Yeah, just like a distance,
We remove, it's a bit more clinical.
I don't, in my experience, I don't see neither a doctor like that. You know what? Because when we are talking about mind, we are talking about one of the things that man hasn't discovered yet, like the universe. That's the reason why universe and minds are one of the things that aren't discovered. Oh no! So it's the same with the spirit. It's the same with your energy.
So can I just say a little bit, add on to what you just read energetically?
Of you?
Yeah, and may I add a bit? As you were speaking, what I identified is we understand that it's through play, it's through meeting the inner child that we can accelerate our manifestation.
Okay.
And so you...
No, I'm not good with... I don't know if I'm good with manifestation. You know why? Because there are some episodes that I'm the best, and episodes that I don't reach that. And I don't know now...
You question manifestation?
I'm trying to...
Perhaps that's a term.
I'm trying to have more knowledge about that.
Sure.
Because I think that is the greatest power we have, no? So as a human, people always told us to live a life like a rabbit, and but we are not prepared for that. We are not that, and there's always I always ask this question when I have a lot of friends. I have this kind of... I'm lucky because I have people that really shows me a lot of love, and that's something that I'm rich because of that. I mean, for me, a human is rich when there's love around him. And always this friend of mine that always asks me, George, I'm upset with him, but I don't know if it's the same for him because I can't. And every time I have to ask him, you feel something when he just put himself in a room, and he always said, yes, I feel this kind of negative energy, something that you feel but you can't say because and I was... that is what is speaking. For example, if I'm upset with you, okay, and we are two in one room, if I'm in your room with you, you can feel.
Sure, you don't have to say anything. And you can even smile when I...
But you can feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is something we have to study. That is something we have...
trust.
We have to put trust and to study that. If we study our vibration, if we study our sense of love, how to express something, even if it's hate or love, because love and hate are feelings. You cannot stop them.
They're part of you.
People always, say, you don't have to hate. But guys, hate is a feeling, like love, for me. The fact that there's hate, that's the meaning that there's also love.
So you're talking about alchemization? No, just then you would, you said, I'm not too sure about manifestation these days, but I think you just explained it perfectly because you were saying, I think, in your words is, through your hate, you can use that hate to produce some art. So you produce, from that hate, you alchemize into your gift.
Yeah. As a person who likes to do music and to write things, you have to get through your soul. You have to get in the deepest side of you and just
like that song
grab the things, and that's the same with people for me. I'm lucky because I had this few examples in my life where I helped my friends and there was this friend of mine that was depressed because violence and few things that weren't right for him in a few dimensions of life, and that's just in one morning. I was tired after days that he was like that
because you were drained. Your energy was taken a little through the vessel of assisting him to uplift him to higher spirits.
And now he's
Mm-hmm.
he has, he left the job, he did horrible things, and now he's
You times it helped him.
a good worker, with a new girlfriend, with a lot of good things, and he always called me and said, "Thank you, Giorgio," because that morning nobody in my life had these kind of things, and I'm lucky for that because I think, okay, maybe I'm not rich as a money rich, okay? But at the same time, I mean, I have people that love me, and I have people to love.
Sure.
I have people that that I can trust on, even obviously 2, 3, okay. But I mean,
that's what you need.
There's so much you need. You need, for me, a good life is spent. It's not work every day of your life and think that your life is from Friday to Sunday. For me, the best way is obviously work, but at the same time, you have to always remind yourself that you have a mission here, and your mission is to find your nature, not the interest or the money of other people because you have to buy the new house.
Sure.
Because if you follow your nature, really, if you trust on that, if you trust the process, okay. I don't know, because I'm no one in life. I'm just a guy that that loves to sing and being in the artistic way to live life. I'm not rich. I'm not. I have no houses or no. I have only one tiny little car that I love so much. I call Bruna.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Because you're 27, just for the viewers, right? You're 27 years old, which is phenomenal because my first steps into therapy, I was your age.
Oh, wow.
Through the tools for therapy.
So you suffered from...
Yeah.
You're traumatized from...
Do you know the biggest step that took me to the counselling door was because I was studying therapy. And that's the one thing that made me have therapy.
Okay.
So in my eyes, I felt that I could rid my pain through, perhaps I wasn't fixable, but I could channel that into helping other people. But I got that so wrong. Because the moment I entered, I realised that the person I needed to save was save myself. Save me first. So that I come into the therapy world, not out of bid to fix anybody, but to show them who they really are. And to bring them back to their truth, to help them find themselves again.
That's the point for me. I mean, when you're in school now, primary school, your parents, your teachers always told you have to be the best. Okay, in mind, you have to be the best in everything. But at the same time, it's the most dangerous thing you can do to a human because you don't know him. You don't know. You can't think about a human in this way. I mean, I was in this classroom with a lot of children, obviously, and there was my first girlfriend. When you are in elementary school, that's a cute thing, and she was good at that time in school. Now she is a scientist. And I always told to my mom, I'm not bad because I'm bad. She is a scientist. And she said, no, she's good and you're bad. But this is an example.
Your soul was meant to meet that soul, to give you an inkling of your capacity.
This is an example of the fact that she was a genius at school and also a genius in his work. She's a scientist. Okay. I'm not like that.
You had Harry Potter on just a minute ago.
I had it before.
You were wearing it just a minute ago.
Yeah, but I'm not a school genius. Maybe I could be a genius in another thing. I don't know. The important thing is, revere your nature. Maybe you're not a genius now in school, or maybe you're not a genius in your work, or maybe you're not the best. But the truth is, you are not to be the best. you have to be yourself, because if you're yourself, if you're yourself, you can let the others just feel what you're going to do with your life. It's
your authenticity will illuminate to your external world, and it will mirror back to you more of your greatness by you being real.
We always think that the things that are outside us, they are the fact that can change us the way. But the eggs born inside from outside. So if you think about this, if you think about your little egg, okay, the problem is not what is going on outside, because it's always in changing.
I love the way you use the egg. So that makes me think of fertility. Giving birth to something, and you speak about art.
If you see an egg when you want to eat it, it's only egg. But if you're 1 month, it could be a bird. That's why, because the revolution, it's from inside to outside. Life is from inside to outside.
And back.
The relationship between the outside to inside, for me, is only about, the superficial,
like some people call it 3D. They say like superficial, as in it's just aesthetics. It's just egoic.
And I know that sound like that it's easy, but the best way for me, I can't. I want it so bad to live like that, but for me the best way, if you're like an egg, and other things just are knocking at your egg, and you imagine them just because they are knocking, but they're not inside. You can change everything. When I was talking with this depressed friend of mine, and he was like, "Oh no, George, it's like it's raining every day with me," and I was like, "Boy, come down. Life is from inside to outside. If rain drops on your egg, it's outside. It's just noise. Okay, maybe you need silence, but to appreciate and to value the silence, you have to wait the rain."
Oh, wait the rain.
Yeah. Always with this example of the egg, if you want to be brave, it's the same. When the egg is broken, the bird has to jump. There's no way. Even if it's full of fear. Turtles, when they give birth, when they raise these little eggs, when little turtles born, the mother isn't there. The mother is in the ocean, but they have to feel what their mother did before they were born. Only with the feeling they can reach the beach. They can reach the sea. Because they feel maybe that's the way. Maybe it's where I have to go.
Sure.
If we think about like that, just feel. Everything's changed. I saw people that feel so low about themselves, and the day after do the greatest things of their life because of that. So for me, that's hope that we can do it. Obviously, a lot of practice, everything, but it's not a training. It's a life trip. It's different. You don't have to be the best. It's not a ride. It's a marathon.
Sure.
But it's with yourself.
So, to summarize, to encapsulate your essence and what you provided for us in this podcast, that you've enriched this space with deep philosophy that gives a notion into inner work and how powerful it is for the being. And I guess with my work is to honour the inner work and complement that with the sense of reaching for the infinite, which is your take is, and I totally get this. I relate to the chasing of perfection and how to undo that chase, but to simultaneously reach for the stars and to not stop the ignore the vastness of space inside me, that I can in fact not place limitations on the mountains that I am being born to move. And that's a calling that I feel and sense within you in your journey of where you are, is the magnitude of love that you have to give, and how you're already cutting shapes with that energy, and for you to almost hone on to the capacity of how far that will grow once harnessing the ability to to reach perfection in your eyes. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I was just listening because you were so inside that.
Sure, that's what I call channeling.
That's one of the most interesting side of you. You know, as a musician, I like to do music. I have to observe. It's part of my life. I always say to my friends that in my mind I'm always making my movie. Literally, like cinematographic. It's like cinema frames, okay? And when I meet people that once in a day talking with that kind of feeling of something, they change. They don't know, obviously, on the other side, but they completely change. Their eyes, the way they're speaking, the way that breathe.
They've access to magic.
In that kind of details, like I said before, I can put trust on. Because that kind of details can't lie to you.
Which brings me back full circle, because we understand trust is the thing. I talk about intuition development with my clients.
Even right now, inside of you, I noticed that there's some episode that you are thinking about now, because your second eyes is more lucid than the other.
Fantastic.
So you are thinking about something that hurts you in the past, right?
That's perfect. See, and what you just said is phenomenal, because what I do is access my past to connect with you guys. As you know, for your singing, you draw through your pain to move people to healing. And you are an example of my client group who are very tuned in, tapped in, who read energy. And I asked you at the beginning your ideas on psychic work and psychic energy. And I wonder if you've changed your mind somewhat, or how you feel about that from talking to me, knowing that is partly what I do.
I felt like there was this open heart, because you were bored in that moment, and then you didn't expect that, so you were a little bit like, my God, what is going on here? Okay. Another detail, you need that in your life. It's because you do these kind of things.
It wakes me up. And you just saw me just then.
That's the fact that you can I can visualize that you're not a different person before, and now it's not that. It's the part that, like I said before, what gives you life. Imagine if you can just be in that way, in this life way, but in all the parts of your life. That's when human can create the best things.
Sure.
That's where we all belongs to, and not the mountain of money. It's always this kind of this kind of lie, how our grandparents told to our parents that a good lifespan is a life when you work all day and obviously take care of your family and stuff. Okay, but then have you ever noticed something in yourself that maybe, I don't know, gives you opportunity to live well? Because I don't think that people are made for working every day, all day in this artificial mood. No, baby, we are human. We are made. We are social animals. We have to discover things. I mean, as a human is arrived on this earth, this always this kind of way that you want to discover things, and the ones who made the history are the ones who discovered things. Albert Einstein, Giulio Cesare, Alessandro Magno, Enrico Fermi, Oppenheimer, I don't know, Steve Jobs, Kanye West, Walt Disney. Those Leonardo da Vinci. Those were people that they want to know. They want to feel the knowledge, because more knowledge means more freedom. More knowledge, more knowledge, more freedom. It's this kind of relationship. And always my dad and my mom told me that if you know things, you're free. Even what's going on in your mind. I had this fantastic daughter that told me the same. Giorgio, if you want to resolve things, if you want to just open a new chapter of your life, and with everything that is that was understanding your life, you have to reach the knowledge of that things to feel free and to cure that thing. When you talk to a person that is suffering from one thing that he doesn't know, that is called anxiety. That is called stress. But when you know him, when you notice him, what is going on, he just oh my God! And now you can feel pain anymore because you know.
Yeah, because you were talking about the anxiety of confusion.
Yeah.
And the knowledge gives clarity on the
obviously.
But what you just said there, you were talking also about being in the unknown, which lots of people fear. And I think what you just done for me, and I felt, was you alleviated, as you said, there is an angst that we have as human beings to provide. And I know one day you would like to have children, you mentioned.
Yeah, I want it. Maybe one day, yeah.
Oh, you were saying.
I have to be a good father because I'm not a man, I'm a child. I'm 26 years old.
Phenomenal.
I want to be a man. I'm not reached that kind of level. I want it because for me a man is a great word, like a woman. I don't define every lady that I know a woman, because for me a woman is something.
It's different. It's being able to step into the wisdom of that feminine energy.
No, for me it's not that. It's not about, even if you don't have child, you're a woman. It's not that. Is something that is spiritually and with the ethics so elevated.
Sure. Yeah.
I know a lot of males, but few males. Not a lot of men. That's the same with women for me in my life.
I think that we've covered so much, and one aspect was really interesting of energy absorption, because you mentioned how powerful, how do you say, when you shift someone through your presence, and how sometimes that can leave you drained. But the way we spoke about the gift being the thing that fuels you, but being the thing that drains you, is fascinating to me, which is the yin and yang.
I'm in the same way. I mean, I believe in this kind of philosophy of the yin and yang and everything. There's no devil and there's no saint. There's no bad and there's no good. There's people.
They're going, you know, the book The Alchemist.
Yeah.
And he goes to the fortune teller.
Sorry if I interrupted, but you know, there's another book, Siddhartha of Hermanesse, and
I would have to read that.
Why I have to say this? Sure. Because Siddhartha is a young guy who pray every day. The book is written in India. In India.
Oh, India.
It's based in India, and Siddhartha is a young guy that has to pray. He's a prayer, okay. And there are some kind of voices that in India there was this kind of everyone said that he's Buddha and he goes around the India with a lot of people around him. But for the family of Siddhartha, this person was an example because he experimented life, sex, drugs, alcohol, things. So for that kind of people, there's not. He were not. But after a few days, he want to discover why they say this and just how this happens. And the book is the best book you can read in your life.
Oh, really? Oh, you're better than The Alchemist.
Oh, that's for me. That's no. I respect so much Paulo Coelho. I love him so much. But Siddhartha is my favorite book. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I hone into it because it gives emphasis on destiny, and it exemplifies my belief that there is a place for psychic work, and there's also a place for the human autonomy to have choice and their drive to make things happen. So, but I will definitely read that book.
Absolutely, you have to read it, and you have to say to me if you like it or not. But
sure.
For me, I'm pretty sure that is good for you.
So, Pat, we're going to you are on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And I'll probably do a little bit before this, just to introduce you. Or we're going to show some of your singing on this
what
video.
You want? For me, it's the same. I mean, it's so I feel so glad that you're spending your time with me and asking me things, because I'm no one. I'm just a guy that loves to express my vision.
You go out there, and everyone who has holiday makers who come to break the monotony of their life, to find themselves or just to forget, you, that person, that just makes the experience a little bit more special. So
thank you so much. I appreciate so much that, because you know it's not difficult, but it's, you know, there are too many things in life that are okay, we got it. But these kind of things are special because, okay, I'm working, okay, maybe I'm singing, maybe good, maybe not good, I don't know. Because I don't know. But the fact that people show me these kind of feelings, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel so glad. Because when I receive people appreciation, people love, is the same moment where I want that another person can feel the same to help him, you know.
Sure.
I'm not always I'm not a helper, okay. I'm the one that if you are suffering from one thing, I can stay all night with you, but we have to resolve that. And not in external way. It's always inside of you. The arms are inside of you. We have so much power. We can do great things and horrible things at the same time. And because of that, I don't put so many trust on politicians, on people that say I'm like that. I'm in this way, and nothing can change me. Man, you don't understand nothing. For me, I'm not God, but I'm not the kind of person that I have to change.
Yeah,
I have to feel, and that's the way life goes on. Everything is transformed. Nothing is changed.
Nothing.
And that's why the artists are the only one that has this kind of divine role, because only God can create things.
And God lives through you. That's the amazing thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to wrap this in some words, and I'm searching for them, because I see so much of myself in you, not as I'm a singer, but the way that
The way you feel.
my purpose is to help change lives, and every client I see, every reading I give, I know what it's like to wake up and channel my anxiety in a way where I make a difference to the world. And I think the biggest lesson for me has been able to step into the power of that and receive the power.
No, but maybe if it's because you work for it. But at the same time, I'm no one to give advice, obviously. But what I feel is the fact that you're always trying. You're always trying. I have to do this, and that. I have to try this, and that. For what I had in my life, you just have to remember what you are, who you are.
And that is the power.
But not so many words. Who you are. I'm name, surname, and my life. Stop. Stop that. It's enough. It's the way I live. It's enough. Because if you consume you with things, you are consuming yourself. And you are not searching for nothing. You're just looking at mirrors. You are not get through the glass. It's different. So if you think about just for one time, okay, now I'm a white piece of paper. Now I don't believe in nothing. Now I don't accept anymore other conversations, other thoughts in my mind. And I just want to focus on the silent. You can discover that you can feel your breath, and you can feel music around you.
The spaces in the notes make the music.
So if you just stop and just don't ask yourself more questions, but breath, and after that gives you just the time to. We are every hour of the day we are connected, okay, with someone, with something, platforms, partners, ideas, passions. But if you stop and you think that you are like a piece of paper, you are a white piece of paper that it's just flying through trees around the world, and nobody gives you nothing, no? If you think about like that, you can discover that you can go around and see all the things in a different way, Because if you think that you're a person in the forest, you are in trouble. But if you think about that you're a piece of paper, you just discovered the power of the wind. You can discover that the wind can freeze you, and I'll protect you for that. You can discover others' point of view of your life. So at the same time, what I need to do with myself is trying to be distant for a while and just say, okay, George, what's going on here? What makes you feel? And because of the fact that I'm not good with myself with that, because I'm for the people. That's my role, I think. There was a man that told me 2 things can save a man: art and love. And he was a religious man, but there's no religious in this kind of conversation. After that, I realized that it's true. Nowadays, when I can reach things or can support things, I just ask to my beautiful lady, what can I do? And she's amazing, because every time she gives me that kind of, because she's another big energy, so deep. And she helps me for that because I know my limits. A lot of people don't know their limits because they don't sit on a table and just there's have a conversation with themselves. So if you have a conversation with yourself, you can have a conversation with your life.
There we go. And that's amazing. Conversation with yourself, so the conversations with your life. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you too. It was so nice.
And it was so nice that you could take some time out of your day.
No. Thank you too. This is amazing, and I appreciate so much that you're here, that you invited me for this, that you listened to me yesterday. I don't know if it was good. I hope that it was good. It was a good hearing. And I want you to have a really good day, guys, because we need to eat. We need to take a nap.
Yeah, we
all the things.
Because,
because I have to work all day and then at night. So
yeah, you got to fuel back your energy. Because I was going to ask you, and that this is off the podcast, but my work in the subscription group is helping people find their routines and rituals.
Oh wow!
You see,
I don't like the rituals. The routine is something that I hate. You know that I can't wear the same things for more than one day because I hate it.
See, this is going back to relationships with God. And so, because I was born into a religious movement from birth, podcast, but so my journey is that I had to revisit my own relationship to routine, because I feel that that's the connection we need to source energy with the Creator, is to be loyal to the infinite and to show honour to them. So rituals and routines, as I advocate strongly in the psychic development, intuition development.
Okay.
Because you're a born therapist. I mean,
Thank you so much. Always people tell me that, and I'm always like, guys, I just want to.
You could be a psychologist with the glasses on.
No, you know that I had one pair of glasses, and always people said, "You look like a professor."
Well, there you go.
Yeah, the next one, I had it like in theater, probably. And
you probably, because you're relaxed into this, and you can feel my essence. You may be more receptive if I was to say, "Hey, I'll give you a reading," like my tarot cards are here. You would be more like. And I can imagine you'd be a little bit more open to me, showing you what's in your pathways, what's there for you. And I can see you lifting up now. In reflection, Giorgio spoke of offering his gift to the community without expecting anything in return. A sentiment that echoes the art of non-attachment. It's a state of being loved and allowing love to move through you. So while we didn't delve deeply into the specifics of his personal therapy, it seems secondary to the presence he brought to this conversation. And we found ourselves in the children's entertainment room, a space Giorgio felt more comfortable in, as opposed to the open lounge area. So symbolically, this may represent his need for a safe container to access his inner child, a place to tend to the more vulnerable, unguarded parts of himself. So his self-discovery appears to be a dialogue between the innate innocence and the voice of the ego critic. In me, he perceived a perfectionist at some point, a sadness that he could see in my eyes. A moment you could call advanced empathy. This was on his part, and possibly a glimpse of what I call counter-transference on mine. You see, at his age of 27, he doesn't yet see himself as a man. He believes he lacks what it takes to be the provider and to look after the child he so longs for. So perhaps in recognising my own inner child, which has shaped, but it's been shaped by my pain, yet attuned to the pain of others, he was also encountering the echo of his mother's unmet worth. So he talks a lot about nature. The voice he now carries, it humbles him towards simplicity, yet it also restrains his reach, as he says he doesn't know if he believes in manifestation, for the vast potential that still calls to